All right, so let's review what the core curriculum requirements are and where they fall in your degree plan for a bachelor's of social work degree. So first of all, the core curriculum, when you're looking for that on your degree plan, it's going to be this top left box here. These courses for the core are required for all students regardless of your major. So if you're a social work major, if you're a psychology major, if you're a women and gender studies major, if you're a biology major, etc. These classes here are required for all students at UT. And so they're very good options for you to take, especially during your first year or second year. Now, there are classes that you could transfer. A lot of these courses you may have taken at a community college, or maybe you received AP credit or dual credit or some IB test or SAT scores as well. So some of those things may have already gotten you credit for these courses. And if you think you got credit for those and you're unsure, you can talk to one of the BSW advisors about that, and we can look into your record and see. Another thing that I'd like to mention is if you're a transfer student, you may be coming in as core complete. If you're core complete, your degree audit should show that this entire box of core requirements are taken care of. If you think you're core complete, but your degree audit is not showing that you're core complete, you can check with a BSW advisor and we can tell you what your next steps are to getting that cleared away. So when you're looking for the list of approved courses, because some of these classes don't have a specific course number tied to them, like these, you'll want to look at the Core Curriculum Office website. So here's the link up here at the top. If you go to the Core Curriculum page, you can just click on this button here, Core Curriculum Courses, and then you can either open the current core list or a future one, depending on which semester it is that you're planning to start. When you click on that, you'll get a list that looks like this, and it'll tell you all of the approved core courses that you can take. So that's a nice, handy way that you can look for core approved classes. When you're on the course schedule, there's also another way that you can look for core approved classes. So we'll check this out for fall semester. Find a course now. Log in with your UTE ID and passcode. And then whenever you're on the main search page, you'll just scroll down to the third option called Core Curriculum. And then you can plug in whichever field you're looking for. And let's check out history. This is one of the more interesting ones to look at because there's lots of options for history. While a lot of students think you can only take history, American History Part 1 or American History Part 2. So if you click on the history requirement, you click Find Courses, and then you're going to see all of the classes at UT that meet that requirement. And you can see here, they're also highlighted as core with the history flag. All right. And so you can see that if you wanted to take civil rights movement class right here, you could take it. You could take women in social movements in the United States. You could take history of Black entrepreneurship in the United States. And so you can see that these are courses that are not called history specifically, but they're still meeting that core history curriculum requirement. So when you're looking at your core courses, you may think of these as also being similar to some foundational courses that you had to do in high school, like everyone had to take English, everyone had to take history, everyone had to take government, etc. So that's kind of the similar thing here. For your core courses, one of the first classes that's important for you to note that you'll need to take is your UGS signature course. So you can either take a UGS 302 or a UGS 303. And these are going to differ because one class will carry a writing flag and the other subject may or may not. Then you have your composition and your humanities course requirements. For English, if you decide to do that at UT, you could take British literature, American literature, or world literature. For governments, you're going to take government, Texas government, and then you can take a US American government. For history, you do have 2 history classes. One of them does need to be one of them can be Texas history, but one must be American history. But again, you can click on that approved core list or check out the course schedule to see what are your fun options for history. For your social behavior science class, you're going to get that within your social work major because we require you to take sociology, economics, and psychology. So that will be fulfilled. Then moving along, you do have a core mathematics requirement. Often, you may have some sort of AP credit to meet this, or there's other ways to kind of double dip this with your statistics requirement. And that's a bit more of an elaborate conversation for us to have another time. Then you're going to have 9 hours of science and technology, and one of those is actually going to be met by your human biology requirement in your gen ed. So that will double dip in 2 spots for you, here and here. And then lastly, for your core, you have a visual and performing arts requirement. And in order to see the full list of those classes, I also recommend you look that up on the course schedule under option 3 for your VAPA or visual and performing arts. On the second page of your document here, you also have some links to take you to petition for core or flag requirements in case you transferred some courses and they're not picking up correctly. That is an option for you. But before you do that, please review that with the BSW advisor to make sure that it is something to be eligible for you to do. You'll also see below that there's core curriculum requirements. This link will take you straight to that core website that I mentioned. And it also has government transfer pairings because government comes in a little wonky from community college into UT. And so here's a quick cheat sheet to kind of help you understand what those pairings are. So that pretty much wraps up everything that you need to know for your core curriculum requirements. If you still had additional questions, please reach out to BSW advisor and we're happy to answer those questions then. Thank you.